Welcome to Top of the World. Hope you enjoy the video. Please remember to share, like and subscribe to this channel. Today, we're going to take a look back at one of the most devastating natural disasters of the 21st century, the 2008 Sichuan earthquake in China. We'll explore its causes, the impact on the affected region, and the lessons learned from the tragedy. So, let's dive right in. The Sichuan earthquake, also known as the Great Wenchuan earthquake, struck on May 12, 2008, at 2:28 p.m. local time. It measured a staggering 8.0 on the Richter scale and was centered in Wenchuan County, Sichuan Province, in southwestern China. But what caused this massive quake? The earthquake occurred along the Longmingshan Fault, a thrust fault that runs along the eastern edge of the Tibetan Plateau. This region is prone to seismic activity due to the ongoing collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. The immense pressure from this collision caused the fault to rupture, resulting in the deadly quake. The immediate impact of the earthquake was catastrophic. The ground shook violently for nearly 2 minutes, causing widespread destruction across Sichuan and the surrounding provinces. Entire towns and villages were leveled, with buildings reduced to rubble. The quake caused numerous landslides, further increasing the death toll and hampering rescue efforts. Critical infrastructure, like roads, bridges, and communication networks, was also severely damaged, making it difficult for help to reach the affected areas. Tragically, the Sichuan earthquake claimed the lives of approximately 87,000 people, with thousands more injured and millions displaced. The disaster also had a profound effect on the region's economy, as many businesses and factories were destroyed or forced to shut down temporarily. Among the most heartbreaking aspects of the disaster were the thousands of schoolchildren who lost their lives when their poorly constructed school buildings collapsed. The tragedy sparked outrage and calls for better construction standards and oversight, particularly for public buildings like schools and hospitals. In the immediate aftermath of the earthquake, the Chinese government launched a massive rescue and relief operation, mobilizing more than 130,000 soldiers and armed police, as well as countless civilian volunteers. Emergency personnel worked tirelessly to search for survivors in the rubble, often using their bare hands to dig through the debris. They faced numerous challenges, including the lack of heavy machinery, the threat of aftershocks, and the remote locations of many affected areas. The international community also stepped in to help, with countries like Japan, Russia, and the United States sending search and rescue teams and providing much-needed supplies, including tents, blankets, and medical equipment. In the months and years that followed, reconstruction efforts began in earnest. The Chinese government invested billions of dollars in rebuilding homes, schools, and other infrastructure, with the aim of creating more earthquake-resistant buildings and communities. The 2008 Sichuan earthquake was a stark reminder of the devastating power of nature and the importance of being prepared for such disasters. In the wake of the tragedy, there was a renewed focus on improving building standards and earthquake preparedness in China. One major step forward was the implementation of stricter building codes, particularly for schools, hospitals, and other public buildings. The government also invested in educating the public about earthquake safety and preparedness, including conducting regular drills and providing information on how to respond during a quake. The disaster also highlighted the need for better early warning systems. In response, China has invested in developing and expanding its earthquake monitoring and early warning network, which now ranks among the most advanced in the world. Another important aspect of the recovery effort was addressing the psychological trauma experienced by survivors. Mental health support and counseling services were made available to help people cope with the loss of loved ones and the upheaval of their lives. In the years since the Sichuan earthquake, China has made significant progress in improving its disaster preparedness and response capabilities. However, the work is never truly done, as the country remains vulnerable to earthquakes and other natural disasters. The 2008 Sichuan earthquake was a tragedy that shook China and the world. As we remember the lives lost and the immense suffering endured by the survivors, we must also recognize the lessons learned and the progress made since that fateful day. By continuing to invest in better construction standards, early warning systems, and public education, we can reduce the risk of future disasters and ensure that communities are better prepared to face the challenges that lie ahead. Thank you for joining us today as we revisited the 2008 Sichuan earthquake. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth looks at historical events and their impact on our world. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Remember to share, like and subscribe.